Man, so sitting in Kannapolis downtown, watching some of the guys build up the new baseball stadium. I was about to call it the Intimidator Stadium, but they have since changed the name. And I can't say I really like it, but hey, I don't have no say in that. But we went from the Intimidators to the Cannonballers. It just kind of went down in the, toughness a little bit, At least we could intimidate somebody before, but now it's like Cannonballers. It's like, I guess I'm thinking of maybe a cannon, just, like we're going to shoot you with our cannon, like good old pirate days or something. It just doesn't sound as tough. And then the mascot. The mascot doesn't really get any better once you see it. It's like a superhero guy with the baseball head. And yeah, I think we could have done a little better than that, Maybe we should have just picked an animal or something. The bears, tigers, lions, something a little ferocious, badgers, I don't know. But the Cannonballers, I think their season's supposed to start in April. Hopefully take my little ones. My wife just sent me a text that I could watch a video of you talking all day. That's very sweet, but I doubt she could. Today I'm going to talk about why I started this business. Yep, and reminding myself of that in recent times because feeling like I'm not doing enough to make the business grow. And having a conversation with my wife last night just reminded me that my kids are the reason that I started the business. And I'm doing it for them, and I'm doing it to spend more time with them. Like, I quit my job so no other person could tell me, like, all right, you can spend time with your kids this and this day, and the rest you're mine. Like, I didn't like that feeling. Like, as soon as I had Jackson, I was like, you're not going to be able to tell me when I can be a dad. Like, I don't like that. Now, granted, now that I work the business, I do work a good bit, but it's when I want to work and when I don't want to work. So I don't have to miss any doctor's appointments. I don't have to miss any special events, anytime he's singing at the church or at a preschool event or something like that. Like, I'm in control of my own schedule. So that was one of the main reasons I started my business, was to be a dad when I want to be a dad. And it wasn't for really anything else at that moment. It was for the freedom. And, the freedom comes with the cost. It's hard. It's a lot of stress, just like working a job, that you may not like. I'm having to wear all the hats as an owner-operator. So I have to do the advertising. I have to do the marketing. I have to do, the work at the house. I have to do the follow-ups with the customer. I have to do, my wife helps me with the taxes and all the back work and sending thank you cards and gift cards. And there's so many little pieces, and you realize why a company grows and hires out for those things, because it's hard for one person or two people to do that. So yeah, it's a lot of stress. But it comes with the reward of I get to do what I want when I want, So if you want to start a business, there's some advantages and some disadvantages, because you're in control of your own destiny. So if work don't come in, I don't get paid, and I can't pay my bills, and there's nothing else to fall back on. There's no, I call out of work sick, and then I have a job to go back to, or I've been working all week and I'm expecting a check next week. No, and right now we're at the point in business where we're still going check by check. So I'm still living paycheck by paycheck. It's just personalized check from customers, oh, I shook my camera. So right now I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. There's nothing glamorous about it. We just haven't saved up enough money to have it sitting there and then have money come in and then decide what to do with it, after a week of getting paid from jobs or whatnot. It's get paid, now where does it need to go? So we're at that moment right now. And that's okay. And it's okay. It's no different really than living paycheck to paycheck, working a job. The only difference is at least I know what to expect when I get paid from a job that I'm working at, as far as working for somebody. And in my case, the disadvantage is I might not have any work come in, but the advantage is I get to take control of how much work does come in. So I can give myself a raise at any point if I go out there and hustle and make it happen, How much am I willing to work to get more money, But anyway, back to what I was saying about why I started the business for my kids. Doing that and quitting my job to focus on being a dad when I wanted to be a dad, that means that my family and raising my kids come first, and then the business comes second. And it's hard. I get down on myself because I feel like I should be doing more to grow the business. But my wife helped me realize last night that the business is second to the kids. So as long as I'm putting my kids first and my family and my wife first, then I'm fulfilling what I set out to do. And that is to have that quality time of me being around, to see them grow, to help them grow, to teach them, to guide them, is more important to me than getting my business to 6 figures, $500,000, 7 figures one day, like cruise on the road, different guys working for me, whatever. The healthiness, the mental, emotional, and physical health of my kids is more important to me than growing my company to be this big entity. And as long as I remember why I started, that's what's going to keep me grounded. The moment I try to make this business bigger and start sacrificing time away from my family to grow this business, then my home life will suffer, because I'm not around as much. I'm not continually connecting with my family to build that relationship and to keep it strong. And I think so many people go through that where, maybe it's the wife or the husband and they go out and they work so much, and they hardly see their kids, and they say that, I'm doing it for my kids. Your kids, really don't care about all that stuff. They really don't. They don't care about how much money you got. They don't really even fathom that you're keeping a roof over their head. Like, they can't really compute that matters to them. All that matters to them is time spent. That's the most valuable thing that you can give your kid. And if you're taking that away from them so that, they can have a better life, what's the use of a better life financially if you don't have a great relationship with them in 5-10 years, or when they're a teenager, or whatever the case is? Like, it wouldn't have been worth it if now you don't really have a great relationship with your wife or with your kids because you are out working, trying to build this dream, saying you're doing it for them, but all they really got was maybe a little more financial security, and that could change in a day. Something happens and you get hurt or something like that, and you can't bring in the money you used to. Now all that time you spent away from the house was for nothing, So just remember, the most valuable thing you can do for your kids is time, is to give them your time. And that's with any relationship, people want your time with you. If they care about you and you have a relationship with somebody, they don't care about what you can do for them financially. What they really care about is you giving them your time, your undivided attention, to be there to listen, to be there to guide them through something when they're having a hard time, to make them a priority when it's time to make them a priority. And if you're still so just stuck on, making money and, I got all these goals and aspirations, that's great. But don't forget why you're actually doing it. Don't forget about the people you're doing it for, because of course they will appreciate the money and the freedom to do what you want to do when you want to do it, but they're going to appreciate and remember the times that you spent with them more than any monetary thing. So you can't put a monetary value on time with your family. You just can't. And I'm having to remind myself and make sure that I stay grounded in the reason that I started was for my children and my wife and quality time with them. It was to spend more time with them, not to spend less time with them and try to make all the money that I can. And I think I get caught up in that comparison game, with, other pressure washers that I know, other people in the industry. And, they've been in the game as, in this industry as long as I have, or a shorter period of time that I have, and have made more money than me. And I have to remember, my situation and what I value is totally different than anybody else's. I can't compare myself to anybody, to anybody. I've grown up different. I've had different experiences. I have, I raise my children differently in certain ways, and I value the way I do things in that regard. So I got to stop comparing myself to people, because that's when I get, down. That's when I have those low moments. What am I doing? I should be doing more. And then I start blaming, people from, my wife and my kids. And I'm like, well, if I didn't have anybody around me, then I could focus on, growing the business and making more money. But then, like we were talking about last night, they're the reason I started. So it's backwards to be like, well, if I didn't have all these obligations or responsibilities, I could really grow this business and push it to where I wanted to go. That's redundant, because that's not even why I started. I didn't start to make $1 million a year or 150,000 or whatever the case is. I didn't start the business to make a certain amount of money. I started the business to continue to keep my relationship healthy as far as time spent with my children and with my wife and with my family. So yeah, I'm just trying to remember that every day. You can't put a monetary value on happiness. And I think so many people try to. Once I get to X amount of money a year, that's when I'll really be happy. But the people who are making that had made sacrifices. Some of their relationships are not what they want it to be. And now they have to work on that. Now they have to do more work to try to repair those relationships. And sometimes it's too late. And sometimes they have to, sometimes they get divorced and then their spouse takes half of what they worked for anyways. So remember who you're doing it for, all that good stuff. Good talk. Peace.